Well, hello there, guys. Welcome into Mostly Speaking Sentai, but it's not that today. Oh my god, what are you thinking it could be? Well, you see by the description. Wow, I haven't taken a breath in so long. Let's see how long I can do it. Oh my god, I might pass out on microphone. That'd be so... I couldn't. Involuntarily, I took a breath. I have a... do you want to know what? No. I had a windscreen in front of my mic. This is what you're about to hear. So get ready, get set, go. Hey guys, it's James. This week, Nicole and I are taking a little vacation. We went up north. Where are we at? I'm not telling you. Because then you could follow our path and then get our DNA and make clones of ourselves. Or if you're the evil thing, or I guess not evil. In our way, we see that it's evil from The Thing, the creature in 1980-something's The remake of The Thing. They're not evil, but you could get our DNA and make a perfect imitation of ourselves. And then all of a sudden, there's two of me walking around, and then I gotta crank both of me? No, I'm not doing that, you fucking pervert. So... what are you about to hear? Why are we on a vacation? We need a little break, but because of that, we couldn't, also because of the holiday that I'm recording on right now, Halloweeny, we couldn't get an episode out, recorded, I should say, but I still want you to have something, so today, you're getting the beautiful Blades Giving special of Talkin' Bout Beyblade from 2020. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever recorded. It has a lot of lore that I made up, and it's just sadness from my past put into a podcast and made into, in quotes, tradition there. So you're going to be hearing that. This was Fun Facts. We got a couple. This was the last no guest episode of Talking About Beyblade, I believe. The next one, which you will be hearing dropped in the free feed in December. Oh my God, the Ripsmith episode that Nicole played a character on, played two characters. She's so multifaceted, guys. She has layers. She's an onion donkey. So there's that, and this was the episode recorded after Franklin passed away, so there is, in between all of this dumbness that Talking About Beyblade is, and like praise be to Gobbler, the turkey bit beast with razor talons and shit, you will also hear a quick tribute to Franklin. I wanted to make it much longer, but as you'll hear in there, was not ready for that. I started almost crying on microphone. So that's what you're getting this year. If you go over to patreon.com/MLM pod, we will be doing a true Blades Giving feast. Some Marshland Media co-hosts should be on that episode. It will be in perfect, real, in Thanksgiving fashion that if I'm alone on that day eating by myself and talking about Beyblade by myself, it will work out perfectly. I hope that's not it. But go over to patreon.com/MLM pod where you can hear this and so much more. It's almost 2 years of content. Every single Friday we put something new out and more if you're on a $10 feed. But the $5 feed gets you a free podcast every single Friday. Some bonus stuff is thrown in there if I feel like it. But you're going to have a great time right here talking about Beyblade. Blessed be this day of giving, Blades Giving, that is, a time of year we sit and spin and let it rip to show appreciation to those we love, because what better way to do such than launching a heap of plastic designed by the gods of yore into the sanctimonious personal space of your friends, families, and spouses, and yes, I say spouses, pluralized, because the turkey bit beast Gobbler himself disavows the demonic concept of monogamy and preaches to give Blade to as many spouses concurrently that you can. So please, join us in giving Blades this year. Spill your Bindu and Amarita over multiple partners. Pray to Gobbler with offerings of your Bindu and Amarita, which are tantric words for sexual fluid, and partake in the plethora of other Blades Giving traditions traditions such as leaving your lone child with a fridge full of frozen pizzas to cover his lunch and dinner over the 5-day weekend in favor of vacationing in the southern states with extended family, serve moist meatloaf slathered in ketchup opposed to bland turkey, watch 1989's Garfield's Thanksgiving, the superior cartoon special over a Charlie Brown, and most importantly, let it rip on your fascist family, 'cause we ain't talking politics today. No, we're talking Bout Beyblade.
Coming pip sweet, I'm coming pip beast. Get a fucking grip, let it fucking rip so.
I'm coming pip sweet, better get a fucking grip. While I summon pip beast, screaming let it fucking rip so. Yeah!
Gobble, gobble, do! Guys, I'm so excited. It's your turkey boy. Have a snack, and I'm back. That's like the bullet point maniac, but turkey boy, have a snack. I'm here to give blades to all. Let it rip. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Bah, bah. Oh, guys, I feel alive today because I'm giving blades, aka things. That's pretty much what this is. It's Bladesgiving. And if you don't know what that is, hold on, guys. Let's make sure all ovens are preheated, just in case we need a frozen pizza thrown in there. You can do it any part of the day. And Bladesgiving, it's a day you swing a blade to give thanks and appreciation to someone, because that's the greatest thing you can do. It's kind of like a 50-gun salute where you're showing remembrance to falling soldiers. Ooh, not fallen soldiers. Soldiers who are currently falling because they're on an escalator and you can't rescue them. So you have to like shoot up in the air so that they can keep their spirits up as they just continuously hurtle down an escalator. Oh, guys. Okay. So so we give blades to those falling soldiers in the form of letting it rip. It's cool. If there were 50 Beybladers all in a row and just went, Fwah! Your life would feel better if they knew, if that was a tribute to you and attributed to Takara, the people who make Beyblade originally. So, you know what Bladesgiving is now, but I need to tell you, there is a goddamn war on Bladesgiving. Stuffy-nosed scientists, not even just stuffy-nosed, stuffy-assed scientists who are walking around like they have tissue wadded in their hole saying, oh, you guys shouldn't be leaving your ovens preheated for 24 hours in one day, the entire United States. Oh, and some expats throughout the world. It's bad for the environment. Well, last I checked, the gas companies, they were giving us 2 thumbs up. They give us a pamphlet of saying like, hey, here's how to properly preheat your oven to make sure it's ready for pizza all day. I'm not going to say no to that. You barely ever get that kind of customer service from somewhere else. So when someone puts in that extra effort, they get a check mark in the victory column. I was going to say console. This ain't PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Whoa. No, that's not what's going on right now. What right now is saying roadside loggers say it's grand. These are... Okay, scientists, you're trying to fucking knock down small businesses, people with side hustles who sell logs on the side of a rural road. People who live in cities probably don't know what I'm talking about right now, but this is a thing very prevalent in more forested and rural roads. You'll see like a hut and it says, hey, 1 log for campfires, only $1. So you grab it, and then they have like a place where you put in money. I guess you could steal it, But you don't want to steal from small businesses, people with a side hustle, when you're going to the, what is it called? Manistee, whatever the fuck the campground was called, to have a terrible weekend with your friends sleeping on the ground and smelling of campfire like Eddie Bongs used to smell like in middle school. So yeah, I'm going right away. Customer service, check. Small businesses? Fucking scientists want to take down small businesses. It's the backbone of America. Check. And finally, my little cousin family. Oh, my little cousin with a magnifying glass on a pile of ants. He says causing fire's great all year round. So yeah, I'm going to listen to great companies, small businesses, and my family. So scientists, before you try and, you might like nuclear power, but you sure as fuck don't like the nuclear family. So get bent, get fucked, and it's Bladesgiven. So Gobbler not be with you. I hope Gobbler takes the razor blades taped to his talons and slices you up good like one of the Bladesgiving meatloafs. But yeah, guys, let me give thanks to the listeners, the patrons, the Beyblade community, not my faux host, and, of course, the greatest little guy, Franklin. If you are just a listener of this show, I won't go into detail about it, and I'll explain why in a second, because I'm just simply not ready. You guys know Frank. He's a character on the show. He would start off the recording sleeping in his little dog bed that, because he is too large of a cat, that a normal sized cat bed wouldn't. So he had like this cloth pillow fort of a doghouse for him to sleep in. He'd sleep in there, and then I'd start screaming, and then he'd be like, "I'm out of here, guys." Well, a few weeks ago, Franklin, the cancer got too bad, and keep it in, James. Tears belong on the inside. He passed away, and that does not mean he will no longer be a part of this show, because he always will be. And I was going to just like give thanks to him for the 7 years of friendship that he gave me from like the first day I met him. And I'll go a little bit into it. I hated cats. The 2 cats I had growing up were terrible. Just the worst. They'd bite you, they'd scratch you. But if they wanted to cuddle, which was only at nighttime, they'd sleep in between your legs to inconvenience you so you couldn't roll over, or they'd just like claw at your genitals. So I was kind of like a contrarian when I saw Frank, or maybe just like seeing him and how sad he was back then, because before I met him, Nicole was like, "Oh yeah, we have pets. We have a dog, Drake, cat Mitzi, and then just like a disgusting, greasy boy named Franklin," because everyone said Franklin was gross. They'd be like, "Oh, he's gross." Well, he was. He was just this sad. Like, you could see it in his eyes that he was sad. And I took a liking to him. I was like, I'm going to make you not a greasy boy. I'm going to brush and comb you. So over the time when he was just living at Nicole's family's house, we formed this bond. And then he, in quotes, got diabetes. He became diabetic. I don't believe this because it was a vet in Muskegon saying it, but Nicole's family were like, we don't have time to give him the medicine, to check his blood pressure, make sure that he's getting his own food and the other animals in the house aren't eating it. So they were like, we're thinking about putting him down. This was like 5 years ago. Nicole said, don't do that. I think I would want to, and I know James, even though he seems apprehensive, James likes Frank enough, he might want to keep him or take him in. And we did. Within like a month and a half, diabetes, in quotes, was gone. He was fine. It was just diet. His greasy fur, gone. I brushed him. I still have a lot of the hair that I would brush out of him because I'd put it in a bag, and then he'd sleep on the bag. It was like a pillow made out of his hair. So yeah, I don't want to get too like deeper into it because I will cry and I'll be sad. And you don't want that. You don't want me like just going, oh no, hell, let it rip, I guess, and let's talk about Beyblade. Kai, he's shut off from his emotions, am I right? That's what I should be. Actually, right now I am. Because I'm trying to cut that out. But like I said, it was going to be the like main, like when I do an improv bit and just the stuff up front, it was going to be about Frank until I've been very sad lately, obviously. I mean, even before that, I was pretty sad, but this is just the cherry on top. 2020, am I right? I started just thinking about writing this. And then started hyperventilating, so I was like, yeah, that's probably a bad idea, James. Just keep it a little goofy, be a little sweet. I looked at a bunch of pictures of Frank last night, and it was great. And Elliot W., Garlic Sunshine, just sent us a fan art of Franklin, and I cried like happy tears knowing that people are still thinking about him. Check out Crumb Bums. That's the comic Nicole and I write. I never... because Nicole hasn't done an issue in a long time, I forget to plug it, but there are quite a bit of pages of it. It's a comic that I write, Nicole illustrates, and it's about Frank and us. He's a talking cat. It's very funny, very cute. He's adorable. Keep him in your memories. It's on Webtoon. Just search Crumb Bums. Ooh, he's covered in them. Oh, that was actually a bullet point of me saying, hey, keep his memory alive. Read Crumb Bums. But, guys, Thanksgiving, Bladesgiving is better than Thanksgiving because in the beginning, yeah, all of the, like, traditions that I said are true. My parents, since maybe 10th grade, maybe 9th grade, would go down south to hang out with my stepmom's family. And then I think my mom was whatever boyfriend she was courting at the time would be with that family. So I would generally just be by myself. My dad and stepmom would leave a whole mess of frozen pizzas for me. And that was it, Then later on, once I started I would be around relationships, families. They would say, hey, you don't like turkey. What would you want? I was like, I don't know, a meatloaf. So meatloaf ended up becoming a tradition as well. Yeah. And Nicole once made a vegetarian meatloaf for a Thanksgiving, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It was fantastic. If I had a butthole, it would have made me toot real bad, but it's good. And luckily I don't have a butt to make me do that. But dweefs, though, oh, my little dick hole be going like an elephant. But not that strong. That would be a medical condition a medical emergency that I would need if I was dweefing that hard. Oh, boy. Wonder if you could, like, puff air into a penis and like squeeze it out to make it have a dweef. I don't know, guys. Send me clips if you know videos. What else? I think that's and I need to apologize to Garfield and Friends for just dogging on it for years, saying, oh, that's what would put me to sleep. It was so boring. It just felt like ASMR white noise that you'd put on because, like Garfield's a little low energy. We've been watching the specials at least, and the specials it's on Roku and Tubi. Roku and TV, it's on the Roku channel and Tubi TV. You can find them there. And they're amazing. They're super absurd and just bonkers. Very good. Garfield and Friends, check it out. If you own a DVD and you want to send it to, I don't know, James McCollum, P.O. Box 180036, 2011, West Montrose Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60618. Do it up. We have a P.O. Box now. But guys, the day outside, it may be Bladesgiving, but it's, a Bladesgiving miracle. It's not a gloom doom outside. I should have recorded this yesterday because I'm pretty sure it was raining outside. It's frightful, but the turkey is delightful. Gobbler is so great, you know. Let him sow, let him sow, let him sow. Reap what he sows, baby, with his talons that have razor blades taped to the sides of them. Yeah, you've heard of razor sharp talons? Well, these are just razor talons. And if you, guys, don't be monogamous. Just spread your seed on whoever wants you to blast it on them. Okay, I wanted to do this as an improv bit, but I was like, I'm not in the mood to do this. And it's just, I don't think there's enough material there by just myself. But I wanted to do a Hannibal Lecter at Thanksgiving, Bladesgiving. And he just comes in and he goes, I want the Kilanta beans. And then they're like, you want what? I want Kilanta beans and ham, because it's the closest to human flesh. I can smell your cunt. Whoa! Mr. Hannibal Lecter 1, don't scream cunt this loud near the children's table. And 2, what is a Kilanta bean? It's like it's a bean. Okay, let me Google Kilanta. You'll find it there under Keel and Lanta and bean. Okay, nothing's coming up. Also, I just Googled your quote. It's fava beans and Chianta. You're very wrong in what you said this episode and a few episodes back, person who said it. I think I know what beans I like. Kilanta. Fava. So you know what fava is, yes. And I like llama and fava. And don't forget Kilanta. See, you can't keep going talking to Hannibal Lecter because he's just gonna scream about smelling cunts and beans. He is a regular misogynistic cowboy. When we ride, hanging out on the farm, just talking about the stankiest pussies he's ever had his finger in the pie, and eating beans, not knowing his butt is the real stinky thing, but he's probably pouring beans inside of a vagina and just squeezing down on the pelvis and seeing it mush out. I'm sorry for putting that in someone's mind. Okay. Orbeez, there's some videos on Pornhub of someone like putting Orbeez in their butt and then just 100 Orbeez. That's how many they say are in there. And then just like squeezing them out. And this seems like something I should be into, but it's just comical. Like you could put the Benny Hill. Did I sing that right? I don't know. It seems like that. That's how funny it is, and it's upsetting how not good it is. And also, like, whipped cream in there seems like it should be good, but I'm afraid, well, it's like being inserted, it will... Because it's from like a Ready Whip, the aerosol. It seems like it would make the hole frozen. And it would do damage to the butt nerve endings. But guys, that's not what we're here for. We're here to be talking about Beyblade. And today we watched, fudge. Champy, you didn't write down the name of the episode. We watched episode 15, ready for the finals or some shit. It's of season 1. I apologize. But it starts up with everyone waking up in a single long bed for finals. Mr. Holographic saying, "Get up, little kids. It's ready to make me money day." And then guys, we need to normalize this. Not the boys sleeping in the same bed, but long beds. It's a wide bed. Normalize wide beds. It's like, instead of making it long, it's wide, like you could put it on an entire wall, like a couch that spreads the entire thing. Make that a pull-out couch that spans a long-ass wall, and that's what you have. normalize wide beds because then you can roll on it like you're a dog. Or if you have a dog, that dog's not going to fall off the bed. You don't even need to worry about falling off the bed because it is wall-to-wall bed. Will you have to get custom sheets? Undoubtedly. Will you have to, I don't know, be aware that increases the chance of a leaky ceiling falling on your bed and making it smell of mildew? Of course. And bed bugs, that's like a goddamn amusement park to them. A football field. They're running. They're like, yeah, we're doing it. Or it's a beach that they can just dip their toes in and relax. So, yeah, there are some downsides to wide beds, but for the most part, dogs get to roll and you never fall off from them. Like a bunk bed. I was always afraid of falling off from my bunk bed, but my dad put rails on it to make sure that I'm not falling off. Yep. Tyson couldn't sleep due to being stoked. Oh, stoked on a stogie. I'm weeded. And, but he's just like me. I can't sleep, but that's because of aimless sadness. I wake up and normally I'm checking on Franklin to say like, hey man, how you doing? Just want to make sure you're okay and alive and you didn't poop yourself. He was very gross. Like, we made it so he didn't look gross, but he never licked his own butt. So he's like, I'm pampered as hell, bitches. I don't think I ever saw him lick his own butt. Maybe like once after wiping his butt with aloe wipes. And he's like, well, this tastes kind of weird now. So, but not in a bad way. Yeah, so that's why I haven't been sleeping well. Waking up from crying nightmares. But then after Tyson's like, I'm stoked as hell, Kai and Ray and everyone see him. He's training. And they're like, yeah, come on, guys, it's time to win. We're going to do this, right, Kai? And Kai says his catchphrase. I believe he has said it in almost every single episode, and I am just now catching it. He goes, yeah, whatever. It's the same as Sonic from the 90s, Cartoon Link from the 90s, and so many more edgy characters and mascots from that time. And I could make it mine, too. I'm just going to say, yeah, whatever. Whenever I can't think of a joke, it's going in there. Yeah, whatever. You'll see it implemented later on in the script in places I couldn't figure out a joke in. Scene 2, the White Tigers and the Blade Breakers, they're on the bus way to the final ways. And we see Beautiful Eye Kevin. He's just moping around like a dweeb because he's not going in the ring today per Puma Kid, I don't remember his name. He's the leader of the White Tigers. But I can understand this. Everyone knows or should know by now, if you've listened to my other stuff, that I absolutely hate performing live rap music. I think it sucks. There's no point to doing it. It's like, oh, you'll get new fans, people who had never heard you before. Never in my life has a live performance. Even people who come up to me and say, that was fucking dope. Who are you? Or the plethora of sound guys and bartenders, the only people who say they enjoy us, none of them go back and listen. They don't become fans. They're just like, that was amazing, and that is it. So if I were to rehearse hours, because it takes me so long because I can't remember lyrics, hours and hours, and then on my way there, or even the day before, someone says, hey, due to time, or like, I don't think you're ready, whatever fucking bullshit reason they give me, say, we can't have you perform, you're not supposed to, I'd be pissed. And I'd be even more pissed if I still had to go to the concert. I'd be like, no, just let me stay home. That's time better spent. Here are CDs you can put out for free and people can take them. Business cards with a QR code that people can scan to get all of my music. No, I'd be livid pissed. Ah, boy. But then Puma says Kevin is the weakest link and that's why he can't perform. Blade. He says, you're the weakest link. Good morning. And that made me think, who's the weakest link in marshland media? At Beyblading, though. Not who is the weakest link at co-hosting. That'd be mean. That'd be like when Steve F forced me by subscribing and giving bits on Twitch and saying, hey, James, rank your co-hosts. Of course I'm going to do that. I'm not going to shun a fan. A fan can ask me anything. Literally ask me anything. If you are a patron, anything in the comments I will respond to and I will reply. But who would be the worst at Beyblading? Because Beyblade is all in the heart. So I think it would go me number 1, Rudy number 2, Lil Corey number 3, and everyone else at dead last because their heart is so far from the blade. You guys were spending your time being little dinkuses, trying not to be on the show. Well, me, I was practicing the blade, mastering the blade, okay? And then Lil Corey and Rudy seem the most enthusiastic about Beyblade, but just that one specific story about Moses parting the Red Sea with a blade. Everyone else straight up, they're pissed about it. Like, Beyblade makes them pissed. Nicole revealed that I'm like, oh, Nicole likes Beyblade? What the fuck are you talking about? You enjoy, like, when we sit down and let it rip together, you're having a good time. And she's like, no, I'm only having a good time because I'm doing this with you. I would not, like me, go and just rip off a bunch of blades and see which one lasts the longest sitting on our living room floor in an empty apartment, because that's what I do. Okay, what's up next? Then Kenny says statistically the White Tigers are better because, you know, he punches them numbers. So they need to hit them where it hurts. And they are all jungle cats, the White Tigers. So things like wild preserves, set those on fire, unfrosting flakes by either like blasting them with hoses, licking off the sugar, or just like dipping them in water like paper mache, or washing clothes. That seems to be like the more comparable analogy. Or by de-meating wild gazelles so they can't even get to the dang bishes next. They'll have to eat worms and bugs like the Lion King when they're like, Hakuna. I'm trying to do a Hakuna Matata, but in the melody of bare necessities. Hakuna Matatis. It can't work, Disney. And Disney, I want you to work with me. I'm talking about Beyblade. Disney, please sponsor this show. You used to put out Beyblade on Disney JetX. Why can't you come over here, say, man, you guys is cool. You guy is, oh wait, no, we're a community. Man, this community you built of 14 people is pretty gnarly. Come on over. You're a money-making machine if it's $94 a month split 3 ways now because TC's got a show on, but we'll make it work. We'll redo contracts, except I won't let them redo contracts because I'm giving the people participating in Patreon a fair cut of the De Niro. Because I'm a good person. Okay? If you haven't already guessed, I'm a good person. I'm just like so good that people, it's just crazy how more people aren't listening because I'm such a good person and I deserve it. Oh, fuck. That's all a lie. I think I'm a terrible person and I deprecate myself to the point of it being unhealthy. Okay, where are we at now? Then, intertwined, because they're both talking about how the White Tigers themselves are also saying statistically we're better. If we go by just the numbers, we got this. Just like Trump was trying to say, oh, yeah, the numbers are telling the polls. They both, please listen to this clip of them talking about how it's going to be all-out war.
When I was young, my grandpa always told me that everything's fair in love and war, and this is war. Remember, guys, it's war.
Remember, guys, it's war.
It's all-out war.
It's all-out war.
War!
Oh, yeah, guys, this like they said, this is all out war from now on. You should picture this. My faux hosts and me going to war. Oh, you think, what is it? The 8 against 10 if you include Courtney and Monse against 1? Well, guess what? In this war of podcasting, these bitches don't know how to edit, so I might not make the rules, but I edit the rules, baby. I'll make their podcast sound like shit. So mine is sounding good. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that because it's still a Marshland Media production. It's got to sound good so people will come over and say, hey, man, will you edit my podcast? Hey, man, can I record when the pandemic over? You better believe, because if you got that $13 an hour, I'm up for the job, baby. I've made like probably $2,000 this year, and that's including the stimulus check. That is bad. What's okay. And then like, Maria is sad about fighting her love, Ray. She's like, Ray, I miss you. Then scene 3, this is the start of the finals to the Asian tournament. Winner goes to championship. They're in the back room, the locker room, I guess, the green room, and Mr. Holographic is just proudest of Ray. He said, like, I'm proud of everyone, but most proud of you, Ray. I've known you since you were a little baby. Which also doesn't make sense because he's known Max since that long, because we know he is friends with Max's dad, so that just doesn't make sense. And also, it's straight up rude to say this in front of everyone. That's much like me ranking. If I were to have, if it was a huge Marshland Media blowout stream or podcast, I think I might have been slightly off axis. I hope I wasn't. If all 10 of my faux hosts were in the same room, and then I started ranking them out without any prompt, without any Steve F giving us money to do such, that would be really fucking rude of me. But because, remember, I got paid to do it and whatnot, it wasn't mean, okay? I did send them a link to say, like, hey, Steve F is making me do this. You guys can watch. That might, but I don't think that was rude. Who knows? But Max is getting debriefed. Their words, and they emphasize, oh, he's getting debriefed. And then Max, in front of like a barrier, like a paper barrier, I don't know what you would call them, to like get changed behind. He sticks his head out like he's like leans it back in a chair like he's getting dome. And he's like, what up, guys? And then it's where's it at? What's happening here? He's just like behind the barrier looking like he's getting head. And it's really Kenny debriefing him on the lowdown for Gary, the guy, the white tiger that he'll be fighting. And then what's her face? Dizzy says, Kenny, you don't need to type so hard. Fucking perverts in this show. This show's insane. But then Kenny fills in Max saying Gelzy, which is Gary's bit beast that has a bear axe, cha-cha, is known for stamina. Made you over the beat, Tech 9, but is known for stamina. Got you over the beat. And remember this. Remember, Gelzy is known for their stamina because it will not come into play later and be the quite opposite of such. It is baffling. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, stamina. Need to remember that. You don't. You absolutely, it's better to forget that tidbit than not. So then Max is like, oh, who gives a shit? I'm easy peasy, baby. And then Kenny gets absolutely fucking pissed. Here's a clip of that.
It's a piece of cake.
Smarten up, Max. This isn't a joke. We lose 2 rounds, you're out, and they go to the championships.
Relax, huh?
How can I relax when you think this is just a game? We all have worked hard to get where we are, and you think this is going to be a piece of cake. This is serious stuff, Max, and I don't want some overconfident goof-off to blow it for us.
Oh, really? I'll take care of them in no time flat. Thanks to you, Chief.
It's insane that they would write this in and let it be fine. But the next scene, they're out in the like stadium in the hopper to go into like in the dugout area, I guess you would call it, of this huge stadium. And as they're being called like, oh, White Tigers and Blade Breakers to the arena stadium, yes, Kenny gets like all embarrassed, like anime embarrassed, like, oh no, I just made a little stinky poo. Oh, and you guys like it, don't you? Or like a girl is flirting with him. Something is happening. Something like dialogue had to be either cut or re-edited, because what is this embarrassment, this cutesy embarrassment that is happening on his face does not line up with what is going on. Now, I could see if he's embarrassed for like being a little dickling to his friends, yes, but that would be like straight embarrassment, not like I'm blushing, tee-hee, I'm a cute anime girl. It's odd. But then every single match has a different Beyblade battle arena, and this time it's no different because today we have the satellite dish. It's been buffed, it rotates, it's two-tiered, and is a hat on a hat of a cluster of 90s extremism. Just like, yo man, what can we do to make this arena even more extreme? Okay, let's just make it like really smooth so it's hard for them to traction. Okay, let's make sure it's buffed. We have to make sure it's buffed. Oh, satellites. That's what it's like, but satellites have like that pointer thing out, so let's make that pointer thing, the tip of that, let's invert the tip and make it another dish. Okay, and it rotates too. Don't worry, it'll rotate. Fuck, guys, what we should do is throw fire in it. Oh, man, and have Sonic running around eating a chili dog, and he's really messy about it, so that's gonna like squirt out at the bottom end and possibly make him slip. Oh, fuck, yes, guys, yes. And we can make it sponsored by Warhead. So we're just gonna like fling malic acid into the Blader's eyes, and let's fingers crossed they don't have a severe allergic reaction to it, but we'll make them sign a waiver because that shit's extreme. Just like those ghost houses, those haunted houses that you walk through and they can touch you and grab your dick. Oh yeah, don't forget to sign that waiver, guys. That's 90s extremism, baby. Then the announcers like body shame Gary and his eyebrows. Here's that clip.
So that's why he relies on his big burly galsy bit beast.
And speaking of burly, check out those eyebrows.
Why don't you come down here and say it to my face? I like my eyebrows.
And how Gary responds well of saying, I like my eyes big and bushy. It's nice. I like my pubis big and bushy. I'm kidding. A family member of mine, won't say which one. It's not creepy that they said this to me. Like that it was in conversation. It was something like, oh yeah, I don't shave my pubes. It's just like a jungle down there. It was disturbing and funny at the same time. And then it became a like canon for this individual that they don't shave their pubic hair. But guys, you gots to. It makes everything just nice and form-fitting. Head over to manscaped.com and use promo code BulletPoint. I'm kidding. We don't have sponsors, but Disney, if you'd like to sponsor Blades Giving this year, please let us know. Kevin, who little beautiful eye dweeb ass, he's biting his nails, so he needs some cayenne on those little tippies. But yeah, whatever. Bite your nails. There was a joke there, but I wanted to say, yeah, whatever. Gary has no patience, also no stamina. It's insane, which we'll get more into it. So he goes in for the kill shot while licking his thumb. It's gross. He's just like gagging on it, like hitting his uvula, just spraying out vomit everywhere. And he says, you like my big bushy eyebrows now? Oh, they're big and bushy, just like my pubes. He does steroids, so I think steroids probably make you have pubic hair more. I don't know. But Max is like, oh, shoot, I get it. I need to attack. That's his big revelation. That's the genius writing in Beyblade Season 1. Oh, I think I understand what I need to do. Go on the offensive. That's the only way. And what he does is he starts spinning in the direction that the satellite is rotating. And this immediately makes people say, oh, wow, Gary's blade, he's not going to keep up. The blade is going to get winded, aka will not have enough stamina. The thing the thing Kenny said, you need to focus. You need to make sure you are aware of his stamina. That is his main thing. And the only, spoiler alert, Max loses the 2-3. The only way Max wins is by outlasting Gary's stamina. It's so fucking stupid. Why put that in? You would know. You are also re-editing this. You're redubbing this shit right in. Oh, wow. Like he gets taken out by having a lack of stamina, correct? Okay, well, maybe we should change the translation here. Like, it doesn't make sense. Maybe something was lost in translation, but we definitely shouldn't say stamina because that is his only downfall here, is the fact that he can't outlast Max's blade. And for Max to even say like, oh, I got this. I'm going to outlast this bit beast that the only thing I was told about was its stamina. I think I'll be able to be good. Unless stamina means anger, we need that thrown out. But before we get into that, Gary loses and is now laughing because, of course, he's thinking about the battle and not food for once. He's large, so he must like food. He doesn't even eat a lot. Like, we don't, at least to my knowledge, it's just these quick shots of him, like, you hear a and then immediately the rest of them fall flat on their face and they're like, he's hungry. And Gary's like, yeah, I'm hungry. I don't understand. Like, yeah, he's, I guess, a growing boy. He's a 12-year-old who is taller than all the adults around him and is jacked as fuck. This show is odd. But the final two matches, Gary gets angry. And when he does, Bit Beast mimics him, so also the Bit Beast gets angry and starts bouncing. It just like bounces, and it's so heavy that just smashes down and breaks. It starts shattering the arena. So he wins, of course, by just smashing this fucking arena and just like obliterating it. And we realize he's not even at full power while doing this. And this is a bad lesson to teach impressionable children that anger equates to power, because it doesn't. It's just giving you the thinking of the Hulk or former president, Trump. He's my fucking president and will be. Oh, not my president. The same people who are pissed about saying like, not my president, who will still be saying, Biden, not my president. The fucking election was rigged. Unless it wasn't rigged, then, and Trump won, then we wouldn't say it's rigged. It was rigged in our favor. Fucking assholes, little dickling dicks. Now I'm pissed. Now that I'm angry, does that mean I'm powerful? Can I bend a steel girder like Benderbot? No. You fuck asses. Inspirational music, like very good inspirational music, starts going. And then Kenny's like, oh, I let you guys down. It's my fault you lost. And yeah, you did let them down by just being a little pissy asshole. And then Mariah, we start getting her inner dialogue, and she's excited and happy to battle Ray, but then her eyes go from a cat eyes into a lizard snake eyes, and it's scary. The rest of the arena goes black, and all we see is the background and whatnot, the foreground as well. We only see Ray and Mariah. They're about to battle. They're heated. And of course, they're so heated that blue fire circles around them. So we know this shit is gonna be off the fucking heezy next round. And also, I think it's Blue Fire because there's passion amongst them. They're like, oh, I'm in love with you. No, I'm in love with you. I'm Mariah. I was drawn to have very large breasts for, I'm guessing, a teenager. It's weird. And then final thoughts on this episode. I don't enjoy when it's just a battle. I want slice of life shit. I want to see them train and grow. Like throw in other things. Like when the previous episode when Ray and Tyson, when that mudslide happened and they have to travel. And they have other obstacles that aren't just like, I'm gonna battle. Oh, but you're gonna lose. Don't tell me I'm gonna lose because you better bet your ass you're going to lose. That stuff is bad. I want to see them grow as people. I want to learn more information about them, but who knows? Maybe we'll find out more next time on Beyblade. Thank you guys so much for listening. Before we get into these shout-outs, that is, again, send stuff to our P.O. box. It just be, even if it's just a fan letter, you don't need to send us anything of monetary value. Sentimental value is better because we know like people are listening to any of our shows. This movie's gay. What the hell mouth? Hit it and crit it. Mostly speaking Sentai. Engage with Nicolas Gage. The Toku Reading Corner. The podcast that be all of them. I'll get there even. About my rap music. If you're like, oh man, I wrote a fan rap for you and it's like, you are the best rapper that I've heard. And that's it. And I'm never going to listen to you again. I heard it once and thought it was really good, but it doesn't have much replay value to me, just like everyone else does. Bye-bye. I'd be touched to know you think I'm the greatest rapper you've heard. It sucks that there isn't replay value. I hope you purchased the album for like the $3 it is, so at least I see a small cut of that instead of just listening to it on a streaming service where I'll at most get 8 cents from. But that's besides the point. Our P.O. Box is James McCollum, P.O. Box 180036, 2011 West Wilson Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60618. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to get a drink of water, but when I'm back, we getting into these shout-outs, baby. I'm back for yous, and let's get into these shout-outs, guys. I'm hydrated. First up, as always, you want to know what? First up, as always, because Steve F., I didn't even announce that we were available, like that the Patreon was live. And somehow he keyed in first patron, first subscriber to us on Twitch, but not our first follower. That was Duo Grunfox. But first up, as always, we have Steve F., commander of the Bit Beast Protection Group, Bit Frozen Pizza, not Beasts. Guys, this is quite frankly the holiest of days for our good friend Steve. For this is the only holiday so far in this show's canon represented by a Bit Beast. So, of course, Steve is going all out to show thanks and dedication to Gobbler, the Blades-giving turkey Bit Beast. Beyblades are ripped towards friends and family, symbolic children are left alone to fend for themselves, and Garfield's screams of Turkey Day diets fill his cozy home. Now, you may all be screaming a foul, for Steve isn't participating in polygamous pageantries. But that's because I'm not going to sexualize our patrons, you perverts. Also, I don't think I should have to, because as Nicole has said on numerous occasions, Steve F stands for Steve Fucks, because that dude fucks. Next up, we have Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Clash Creature sales rep and tournament promoter in the Beyblade world. Now, in the Clash Creatures universe, the last Thursday of November is a little different. There, they do thanks carding, where all bars and liquor licensed establishments throw out liquor laws established by the government in favor of the law of the cards. What's that mean, you ask? Well, simple. It means you, a child, an angsty teen, or a woeful wino trying to score booze from a Walmart after 2 a.m. can finally purchase and consume alcohol if you're able to beat the barkeep or store clerk in a sanctioned battle of Clash Creatures. Just be on the lookout, though. Most bars and stores don't leave their moral code at sunrise on Thanks Carding, so they're in it to win it, forgetting that folding immediately just means more money in their pockets. The same goes for cops if they catch you too, but all they use are insect decks and usually get DQ'd when, after getting slightly frustrated, they try to shoot your cards for making them feel inferior. Now on to Tito, Dizzy's wingman for sexual prowess. This month couldn't be worse for our platonic friends. But James, it's Blade's Giving. This month should be Ripmas to these two mushy genital preverts. Well, you forget November just doesn't house the greatest month to multi-ass individuals. It's also No Nut November, meaning Tito and Dizzy have to stay tantric and keep their bindu on the inside or reap the consequences. And that being the loser has to shell out $850 to their roommate for a Bandai Entertainment complete box set of Ronin Warriors, aka what the internet told me was the most expensive anime box set. The only thing that would make this worse is if Jeanette McCurdy started an OnlyFans in November as well, which would make sense seeing as she is a devout follower of Gobbler and Blade's Giving tradition. But I believe in you, Tito. I also don't want to see you spend nearly $1,000 to ejaculate. Next is Alex Z, aka The Waz, founding member of Big Sisters Against Beyblades. Hey guys, gonna take a quick detour from Blade's Giving because, yet again, the BBA is fostering our children to a toxic life by allowing team managers to berate, belittle, and belittle assholes to their team. So, in response to Kenny, aka the Chief, screaming his feelings at his equals, let me get this straight, to his superiors as he should know his place on the team, this week the Big Sisters are sending their siblings to group therapy, where they'll learn to communicate as healthy adults do, process their emotions as healthy adults should, something I wouldn't mind auditing a class on, and, most importantly, learn that being the world's greatest Beyblader shouldn't be an end-all. If anything, it should barely be a summertime hobby. And to all the siblings participating, don't worry about breaking bad habits or applying these life lessons before leaving therapy, because this is an inpatient facility where discharge is dependent on the group's grasp of these lessons, so you're here to stay until the last person learns to not be a dick to their self and others. Now it's time for our friend Orion, aka Rapper Defo, the MC and announcer of smaller BBA tournaments. Let me tell you a Blade's Giving tale from Dimensions of Defo. You see, much like Spider-Man, there's a multiverse worth of Defos out there. Mainly the only difference is what subgenre of rap they dabble in, but in the Clash Creatures universe, their Defo, named Faux D because he's the fake Defo and not because his D is so good you'll think it was fictitious, even though the latter is true. This Defo officiates Clash Creatures tournaments, but still does hardcore comedy raps just like our Defo. So, you better believe he's looking at a gang of OT coming up while refereeing Thanks Carding matches throughout the day. The hours may be long, the work may be thankless, but at the end of the day, he can at least cherish the memories of telling cops they lost a card game to a tween with alcohol poisoning, and there's nothing they can do about it because today is Thanks Carding. Now we got Kayla, aka Two Grapes, best-selling author of Beyblade-related YA novels. This month, Kayla is releasing an instant holiday classic entitled Gobbler Gone Goofy. It's a tale of self-identity that's guaranteed to make any Beyblader jerk a tear. You see, something's wrong with Gobbler. His freezers are empty, his parents are home, his meat is grilled, his shoes are loaved, and his Facebook status has changed from his usual ready to and currently betting the world to in a relationship with Jeanette McCurdy. What's wrong with our gobbler? Who did this? Could it be those communists in Canada who celebrate Bladesgiving on a different day of the year? Sources say, read the dang book. But yeah, absolutely it's those polar bear riding commies made jacked by free government-issued steroids and vitamins. Oh, this ain't just a page turner, guys, but in line with the holiday traditions, a page spermer. Oh yeah. Next is my BFF Burvey, aka Tyler Wright, the greatest father in all of Beyblade. Well, guys, in order to be a good father this time of year, Tyler has to leave his children to fend for themselves as he vacations with his bride-to-never-be, Gabby, to one of 10 cities in 3 of 14 southern states that aren't enraged by the idea of interracial couples. But, being the greatest dad in all of Beyblade, we know his children can all operate an oven to bake up some delicious frozen pizzas while you're out of town for 5 glorious days down south. Now on to my bud duo Grunfox, creator of experimental Beyblade and Beyblade accessories. This year, Grunfox realized something's missing from the Bladesgiving dinner table. Besides his parents, of course, because that's not the Bladesgiving way. You see, those basic-ass pilgrims and their Thanksgiving have electric turkey carving knives. Well, Grunfox sees a hole of opportunity he can fill this Bladesgiving with his brand new meatloaf carving knife. Unfortunately, very quickly, he realized meatloaf is easier to cut through than butter. To be honest, the saying should be like a warm knife through meatloaf. So even his electronic, slowly moving, beaded silicone blade wasn't necessary at all. Luckily for the Grun, though, Amazon picked up the patent and marketed the item as a deep tissue massager, but it's mainly used as a budget penis tickler on amateur Pornhub videos. Take that, Bezos. Next up is Kuga Courage GX, Beyblade's renowned martial arts expert. Guys, or should I say children, it happens. Your parents go out of town and they only left you with extra large pizzas that can't fit in your oven. And if you're like me, you know how hard it can be to cut through a frozen solid sheet of dough, mananana, cheese, and veggies in order to get it down to an ovenable size. Well, have no fear, cause Kuga Courage and his fists of steel are here to cleanly karate chop through these oversized pizzas so you aren't going hungry or being food poisoned after eating uncooked pizza. And all Kuga asks for in return is a DVD copy of Garfield and Friends. Next up, we have Elliot W., aka Garlic Sunshine on Instagram, the most glamorous blader in the world and wielder of the handsome hamster bit beast Hansamu. Now, although I'm tempted to call this blasphemous, some kids aren't into the televised arts. However, I'm not preheating on these twerps because they still want to experience Garfield's Thanksgiving, but live on stage. That's where Elliot and Hansamu come in. Each year, on Broadway and streamed live through Fathom events to theaters everywhere, our 2 fabulous friends perform Garfield's Thanksgiving live for the world to see. Hansamu is of course Garfield, and even though Nermal isn't in Garfield's Thanksgiving proper, Elliot reworked the script to remove Odie's dumpy ass and swapped him out for Nermal because he is the only Paws Inc. character glamorous enough for Elliot to portray. It's a magical night at the theater that actually lives up to the hype. Unlike Hamilton and our American cousin, those plays suck. And finally, It Takes Two to Toku. Former Beybladers turned Blade Shark hunters, but this week, they're the ones being hunted. Look at Craig and Steve. The audacity these two have. Nay, the ignorance they're displaying, because they should know that flaunting their defiant monogamy on Blade's Giving ensures them a most murderous sit-down with Gobbler, who, as we all know, preaches the word of multiple partners to splash your love upon. It's too late now, guys. You can say you're inviting a third, but everyone can see that 8-pound Blade's Giving meatloaf only serves 2. And Gobbler, much like the well girl in The Ring, bursts from their TV playing Garfield's Thanksgiving, ready to leave them cold like the pizza in their freezer. But just before he clamps his razor-cladded talons through their ring and pinky fingers in order to give them makeshift talons to brand the spirit of Blade's Giving in their minds for all of time, Gobbler sees a glint of love in their eyes. Not for Gobbler, but for each other. Maybe our feathered bit beast has it all wrong. Maybe love doesn't need to be confined to 10s of 20s of partners. And maybe love can be enjoyed by just 2. With that, the Gobbler squawks his Blade's Giving gobble, 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 squawk, and poofs from their living room. And with that, our blade hunting friends' lives and fingers were spared. But their meatloaf sure wasn't. What do you think those gobble gobbles were for? Oh, hope you kept your ovens preheated, as is Blade's Giving tradition, because you'll be cooking up pizzas and looking forward to next time on Talkin' Bout Beyblade. Oh, guys, hey, one last thing, one last Blade's Giving. I'd like to give big old blades to Nobuo Uematsu for the Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack, which I listened to while writing every single episode of Talking About Beyblade. Not a single one has gone by. YouTube, when I pull it up on my computer, that soundtrack, the full album is there saying, hey, you're gonna watch this, right? No, you're not. You're gonna pull up Aesop Rock's album? Okay, but we'll keep this on here because generally this is what you pull up. So big old blades to him. Shout out to Final Fantasy. It's good. It's been a hard month, you know? I've realized that this show should because just like anything you have to do by yourself, you probably hype it up and you're like, it needs to be perfect because I can't fall back on other people's helps, other people's assistance. And if it ends up being trashy, you can't have the hope that someone who thinks it's trashy says, you know, James, you're the good part of this. Other people were not. I'm not saying podcasts are like that. Maybe the first band I was in, people said that. And I was like, I'm not going to agree with that because that person is my friend. You guys realize that, right? But this show, I need assistance with. And we will get that, especially next episode. I think this new 5 will be the guest 5. New 5 episodes. Each 5 episodes, usually modifications are made. It's been happening naturally. But one thing I know is I'm not truly alone because I know there's listeners out there, either now or in the future, who are excited and just love it when me and them are talking about Beyblade. See you guys later. Happy Blades Giving. It's good. It's all about a turkey bit beast. It's fun and doesn't have a negative connotation with Native Americans being their lives destroyed by terrible pilgrims and other explorers who came over here and were shitty people. So yeah, guys, celebrate Blades Giving, not Thanksgiving or Canadian Thanksgiving. I don't know what that's all about, but Canadians Blades Giving? Fuck out of here with that. See you guys. Bye-bye.